The Last Door, Chapter 2. Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us each day our daily bread. Forgive us our sins, for we ourselves forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Now tell me, where are you? What do you see? Who is it? Is it him, Anthony? Answer me. What is she doing? Get closer to her. Get closer to Anna. When I count to 3, you'll wake up. 1. 2. 3. Now wake up. Wake up! You can rest now, Mr. Devitt. That will be enough for today. Are these sessions really necessary? I am confident that this is the best course of treatment for your symptoms. Now, did you ever see him again? I saw it. What did you see? Can you describe it? It looked like an eye. It was like an eye, perfectly rounded and dark, deep and empty, accompanied by the most horrifying pain-filled screams I've ever heard inside a complete darkness where an evil dwells deep below. A forgotten fear for human reasoning, but undoubtedly still rests deep down inside our being. In my case, that fear has already awoken. I can understand why you are disturbed, Mr. Devitt. With your permission, I would like to consult on your case with a colleague of mine, a man I've known for many years, who is more versed in modern psychological practices. I think his knowledge and experience would be very helpful in enabling us to understand your condition. If you think it would help, Doctor, I leave it in your hands. The agony grows increasingly unbearable, and if you believe this man can help, then I welcome his aid. Thank you, Dr. Wakefield. I bid you good evening. Anthony, my friend, what really happened to you? How could you have let your wife Anna die so awfully? These doubts consume my soul. I hardly remember the time we spent together as schoolmates. I confess that beyond your enduring friendship, I can recall little of those years. Were your words a result of an increasing loss of sanity? In your letter, you wrote that someone awaits me. A warning to ward me from a genuine danger, or merely the ravings of a brilliant mind addled by insanity. Something stirs uneasily within my heart. I will not rest easily again until we go back to that boarding school and find out what secrets may lie within. Farewell, Mr. and Mrs. Beechworth. Rest now in peace. Chapter 2, Memories. An old, quite damaged mailbox. There is a postcard inside the mailbox. Dear Matthew, it has been several months and I still have heard no news from you. My brothers insist that you have abandoned me, but I am sure you remain true. I know that you would never do that to me, for I know your heart and the honesty of your eyes. I got this address from a hospital in London and pray that it reaches you safely. If that's the case, I want you to know that I will be always waiting for you. Forever yours, Juliet Holloway. The angel Gabriel, the school's emblem. I remember it being very pristine, but it looks neglected and dirty now. A stone eagle lies on the floor. It appears to have broken off the fountain. Pardon, excuse me, sister. Good evening, sister. Good evening. I'm Mother Elizabeth. What brings you here, Mr. Devitt? I'm a former student of this boarding school. As you can see, Mr. Devitt, this stopped being an academic institution a long time ago, and is now exclusively dedicated to prayer and the well-being of the patient under our care. I see. Even so, may I please speak to Mr. Devitt? I'm afraid that we are too busy to start wasting time talking about past issues. In addition, there is little to say. We sisters arrived after the boarding school had closed down. Everybody but Monsignor, of course. Monsignor. Exactly, but you didn't answer my question. Why have you come to this place, Mr. Devitt? To be honest, I prefer not to talk about it. I couldn't tell you why this place is so important for me, but it is a lot. Well, I appreciate your honesty, Mr. Devitt. I'll allow you to stay around here. I hope I won't regret my decision. Don't worry, Mother. Thank you. Doctor? I'm sorry, I'm not a doctor. Pay him no mind. He has been delirious for some days. I'm Miss Mary Ving. This is my brother, Matthew. The one on the letter? Juliet. Why have you left me? Why you don't answer my letters? My letters. You see, the poor man is still obsessed with his wife. He won't accept that she left him months ago. My poor Matthew. I'm very sorry, Miss Ving. I hope he recovers. Thank you. Mr. Ving, I think this letter is addressed to you. Well, thank you. Leave it to me, if you'd be so kind. As you can see, my brother is too weak to read it. Well, Matthew, let's see who has written to you. No, it's a letter from my mother. Why is she lying? Dear Matthew, I hope you are recovering. I wish that your beloved sister and you come back home soon. My letters, all the letters I wrote to dear Juliet, you never posted them, but why, Mary? Why would you do such a thing? How could you be so cruel? I had to do it, Matthew. You refused to see how inappropriate a match it is for you. Harvey. Her only interest is in marrying someone of your status, of our family status. It was for your sake I did this. I did it to protect you from that woman's treachery. No, you only thought about yourself, of your vanity. I can't bear to look upon you anymore, Mary. Leave me be. From this day forth, you are no sister of mine. You dare banish me? I who have stayed by your side all through your illness? Very well, Matthew. You will have your way. I will leave you, and then you will see how very alone you are. Farewell, brother. Thanks be to the Lord that you have come to reveal my sister's cruelty, sir. Please take this coin as a token of my appreciation. It is my lucky coin, though I hope it serves you better than it has myself. I'm sorry you cannot be here. Is there some way I can help? Don't worry about it, sir. The Lord looks after each and every one of our patients. He will provide you with all the help you need. If you wish, you can pray there next to the statue of Our Lady. Don't you think she is beautiful? The Virgin listens to those who need. The living statue of the Virgin Mary makes this place even more mournful, if that is possible. I remember that we used to keep here some textbooks. Now there is a music box. January 15th, 1876. Father Ernest seemed unusually troubled today. Several times he paused abruptly in the middle of a lecture for no reason, even during his favorite class, theology. January 18th, 1876. Today, Father Ernest was very irritable. Collins made a comment and was expelled from class for it, and even Devitt was admonished just for reading a philosophy book. I hope Father Ernest doesn't turn his ire toward me. My father will be disappointed if I fail to get good marks. January 21st, 1876. It was very disconcerting to see Father Ernest entering class so pale and sweaty. In the middle of his lecture, he stumbled, dazed, and had to sit. January 22nd, 1876. Father Eugene taught our theology class today, even though he doesn't know the subject matter as well as Father Ernest. When we asked him what happened to Father Ernest, Father Eugene told us that he had taken ill. What worries me is that now Father Eugene is also starting to look unwell. February 20th, 1876. It's been a month since we last saw Father Ernest. We were told that he's still sick, but if he's so ill, then why hasn't a physician come to treat him? My studies are flagging, but I have taken it upon myself to read on my own. I hope this helps, as I must succeed in spite of the problems happening around us. February 23rd, 1876. It was announced this morning that the school is to close. None of us know why, and we can't get a straight answer from the faculty. They each dodge the question, and I am starting to think they may not know the answer themselves. Their anxiety is palpable, though they try to hide it behind a calm face. What about Father Ernest? I hear he alone is to remain after we vacate the premise. There is a picture in the diary. It's the photograph of my graduating class. I see myself, Father Ernest, and Anthony. I don't remember the names of the others. One face has been completely scratched out. The Lockwood coffin badly finished. It seems that whoever made it was a bit rushed to finish. Good evening. I hope you're right, and this indeed be a good evening. My name is Devitt. I didn't know there was a cemetery here. My pleasure, Mr. Devitt. I'm Frank Baldwin. Don't ask me why, but Monsignor specifically ordered to bury the corpses here. I don't understand. Did he order to bury corpses here? Why, I don't understand. What is there to understand, Mr. Devitt? God has forsaken this place. Excuse the interruption, Mr. Baldwin. I'll leave you with your work. Have a nice evening. Piece of old fishing net. Many years adrift have perfectly smoothed this flotsam into a small log. The Lost Pilgrim, a sea stack older students at the school used to climb. Somewhere up there are my initials. A syringe next to a flask with a label that says morphine. Good evening, sister. Sister? All this suffering, all these tears, all our prayers unanswered. What do you mean, sister? All these years entrusted the Lord, praying, looking for a sign. For something that can give me strength. Every day I hear them cry, pray, scream, and die, and what for? Where are you, Lord? Why don't you answer me? He works in mysterious ways. Certainly yes, but I don't ask for much, just something to go on, a path to follow. I can't go on, not like this. Excuse me, sir. What a beautiful melody. It reminds me of my youth when I was vibrant and full of purpose. I knew my path then. Oh, may God bless you. For you have given me the sign I was looking for. From this vantage I can see the roofs of Aberdeen beyond the copse of trees. A lot of dry leaves have accumulated in a hole of this old rusty pipe. They are blocking the water. Okay. The hole has very sharp and rusty edges. If I try to put my hand in, I could cut myself. Take that pipe. I blunted the sharp edges of the pipe. Now I need not fear being cut. There's nothing now to impede the water stream. That should catch anything coming down the pipe. The broken mirror, there is a protruding piece. There is a puddle in the shower hole with something shining under the grating. I can't see it properly. I can only open the tap with no risk of losing the shiny object. So it's a knife. The net has caught the shining object. It's your job. I have placed the glass tear in a hollow of the Virgin's cheek. It seems that it fits perfectly. Oh, the Our Mother is crying. Please help. Oh my Lord, what does it mean? Please help. What have I done? What have we done? Ch.2. You must help me. What can I do? What's wrong with you? There's little time. I tell them about my pain. I describe the unbearable and endless pain, yet they do not listen. They pass me by without even looking at me. They say that they are praying for me, but it does not cure my ailment. But sir, I know, but I beseech you, you will be saving me from horrible torture. I will be eternally indebted to you. I know where they have morphine. I understand. Your request is terribly hard for me. I guess I could find the courage to help you. You understand the magnitude of what I'm asking. God bless you, sir. I don't know how I can show my gratitude. What I need you to do is, without the nuns noticing, to try to get an amount of morphine, enough so that I can be embraced by the deepest of dreams, and in that way stop the rhythm of my heart. Morphine. Syringe next to a flask with a label that says morphine. Dang it. There's a note on the bed. Baldwin lies. The gravedigger? Noise is coming from inside the coffin. What the hell? I might be able to take a look if I keep them distracted. Tell me about this place. Well, the construction of this building was ordered by an Episcopal Bishop of Aberdeen in 1805. Tell me about Aberdeen. It was a place where I was born and raised, one of the biggest cities in Scotland. Oh, you seem to a bit distracted, Mr. Devitt. Well, don't worry about it. I'll leave you to your work. Have a nice evening. The darkness of his eye. His body is petrified. He has a look of sheer terror in his eyes. Oh my God, but what has happened? Talk to me. A large, bright, and ornate key. Yoink. These are the papers on which Mother Elizabeth was working. Don't look into his eyes. Because dwells in his eyes the deepest darkness. Come in, my son. Did you think you could hide these books from me? They are just classic literature books, Father. Socrates and Aristotle. Silence, instruments of falsehood, you'll mean. Fallacies coming from the snake. Now, son, get on your knees and raise your arms. Apologize to the Lord. Pray to the Lord. Malum in se. In Latin, malum in se, evil in itself. Strange eye-shaped symbol. Eye of the bird. Lord, your eyes burn me. I don't deserve mercy nor forgiveness, O Lord. Have mercy on my soul. Who are you sending me? Is death to whom you are handing me over? Has my hourglass already run out of sand? Father Ernest. Ernest. It's been many years since I last heard that name. Oh, I see. Father, I'm here to be able to remember. You have to help me, I beg you. Please, entreaties, petitions, praying, torment, exemption. Past times bring us just misfortune and pain. Father Ernest, I was one of your students. One of my old students, you say. It's only the Lord who teaches us. We all must follow his ordinances and disciplines. Get closer, son. Come pray next to me. Despite his decrepitude, extreme thinness, and paleness, I can still recognize Father Ernest. But he seems far away, like in another world. And glory be to the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be. Now, my son, tell the Lord which one is his voice, the sharp sword, the wise tool, or the delicate pedal. Sword. Yes, that's it, my son. The Lord with his sharp sword transmits us his wisdom, his power, and his punishment. And now, my son, tell the Lord which one is his holy path, which the wise virtue, the endless blame, or the blessed penance. Endless blame? Yes, that's it, my son. Nostra culpa infinita est, and it always was and will. And now, my son, tell the Lord, who are you? Or the faceless pilgrim, the gate guard, or the lost seaman? The lost seaman? Yes, that's it, my son. We live lost in an endless ocean of sin and blame. Now leave me alone. I have to purify my soul. Dear God in heaven, I feel for you. Your light is in my eyes, I will burn them for you. Dear God in heaven, I feel myself in you, for your eyes are in my soul, I will burn it for you. Dear God in heaven, I fear myself in you. Your sword is in my hands, I will burn them for you. Dear God in heaven, I hate myself in you. My blame is in your heart, I will burn myself for you. Some morphine. We can cut that curtain down now. What's the morphine for? And finally, our expert on philosophy, Jeremiah Divitz, shows up. Where were you, my friend? We've been looking for you. Well, I was saying, tonight is the perfect moment for our next meeting. But I suspect that someone outside our group is secretly surveilling us. Who is it, Anthony? My dear friend, it's Professor Glenn. Do you mean Father Ernest? Certainly, no doubt about it. Therefore, dear colleagues, I have decided to change the venue for tonight's meeting. Have you noticed the lounge behind the small door of the dining room? I have believed convenient to borrow the key for our necessities. You already know, at 12 o'clock you'll find that door open, and I'll be inside the lounge. That's it, my dearest colleagues. I remember that this is the bed where I used to sleep when I was a student here. Nap time. Mr. Rabbit was jumping through the forest in a warm spring afternoon. When going through a bush, Mr. Rabbit ran into Mr. Wolf, Mr. Vulture, and Mrs. Snake, who were having a heated argument. Mr. Rabbit, curious, asked them, "Dearest, why are you arguing in this beautiful and cheerful spring afternoon?" Mr. Wolf answered politely, "What we are trying to decide here is who of us will have the pleasure to eat you up." Mr. Rabbit, really scared, said, "But I don't want to be eaten. I want to live." To which Mrs. Snake answered, smiling, "That's impossible to happen, Mr. Rabbit, since we all, both you and us, are going to die sooner or later. Don't you think so?" Mr. Vulture added, "Mrs. Snake is right. We should stick to the issue at hand. It's getting late, and as you see, we do not agree. Do you want to help us to decide, Mr. Rabbit? Who would you suggest as the one to eat you?" After thinking about it for a while, Mr. Rabbit came up with an idea and carefully said, "I've got it. Why not organize a race? The first who arrives to the forest clearing will have the privilege to eat me. No doubt Mr. Wolf can run at a high speed, but Mr. Vulture can go flying and avoid any obstacle, and I'm sure that Mrs. Snake knows all the shortcuts within the forest. I guess the competition is balanced. What do you think?" The three predators agreed that it was fair, so they started the race and quickly disappeared. Mr. Rabbit, happy to trick them, started running at high speed in the opposite direction of the predators, who, eager to prove their worth, didn't realize the trick. Mr. Rabbit was far away from there, and he finally felt safe, happy and proud of his cunning. But suddenly there was a loud bang. The earth shook. Frightened birds flew, and everything went dark at the end. No, not again. How long have I been sleeping? What was all that about? In the nightmare I found a place in my memories. In my disturbing nightmare I was brought to this spot. It's the trapdoor I saw in my nightmare. From here sprouts a horrible stench. There's something down there. Did you see it? Did you see it? It was there just in front of me. He was screaming. Punctual as always, that is. Now all that remains is to introduce our guest. You may come in now, Professor. Father Ernest? Do not worry, my friend. I invited him to join us this evening. The professor genuinely shares our curiosity, and who better to complete our group than one of the most renowned theologists? Moreover, we mustn't ban those who are willing to explore beyond the veil. The moment we have long awaited has now arrived. Please, all of you, take a seat, and we shall begin the procedure. Soon shall the door be open, and then may we finally see what lies beyond. Now I ask that you close your eyes. You will feel a momentary prick as I inject you with this serum. Yet, even after all these years, I have not forgotten your voice. You are the fourth witness. I remember now what happened. What is that we saw? The eye of the bird, Malam and say. What happened to us? What is it that we witnessed? You must tell me. You must make me understand what my mind cannot fathom. It was our curiosity that damned us. We opened that which should not be opened. In doing so, we shorn the veil that separated our world from his. In seeking vision, we were ourselves seen by the eye of the bird. The eye of the bird saw us. It remembered us. It looked for us. It calls us from its dark nest, from its abominable lair. All these years I have attempted to return to it, but I have no strength left. These poor, wretched creatures are too fragile. They lack the sight to return. Not one of them has returned, only us, the four witnesses. Who are the other two? Where are they? They disappeared as you did. I haven't heard from any of you, but I was seized by curiosity. It absconded with my faith and deprived me of sanity. Oh Lord, forgive me, for I have sinned. Nothing remains. All that is left is surrender. Surrender to him. Gravely have we sinned, and now our only absolution is to burn in the flames. Madam. In. See. Hate you less tomorrow.